guys were here for the actual building of it. Other of you were behind the scenes of things. So just kind of talk about the process and what all went through. We just want to thank some people and then spend a little bit of time remembering Dad. So long story short, back in March of 2020, we lost an amazing individual to all of our family and friends. 2021 is what I meant. March of 2021. Hey, just kidding. We lost an amazing individual who his final dream and wish was to make this happen. Immediately following Dad passing and leaving us, the three of us, Mom, Matt, and I, reached out to Bong right away and just kind of said, hey, this is the final dream. Is it possible? Can we make it happen? What do we do? How do we help? We will be there from day one to day end, whatever it takes to make it happen. Thanks to Elias and thanks to the BNA, that was possible. We started meeting quite a bit right away. That whole summer we were waiting on things, trying to figure out what we could and couldn't do. Elias was going through the ropes of learning a whole new process that he didn't really ever have the chance to do, so he got that experience through this playground. We reached out to a bunch of different companies to figure out what playgrounds we could go with. And then we went with a lady by the name of Gina Wilch, who she is part of Play Design Scapes in Indianapolis, Indiana. Highly recommend if you ever want to build something like this. She's a phenomenal individual who donated many things to help this make happen. She was always there when we needed more mulch, to how do we know dimensions, to how do we know how to make it happen. That's also when, which I believe he's coming tonight, Don Lee. He's with National Installation. He was the reason we're here today, to be honest, aside from Dad, because he knew how to make it all come together. That's his job in life, so he genuinely wanted to be here when he finished his part of like making it go up. He asked how else he could help, which you absolutely don't have to do that when you're hired on as a contractor. So he stayed, he helped us mulch, he helped us put the tiles in, he helped us put the border in, and he said that he wouldn't miss it for the world to be a part of the full project, just behind the meaning of it all. So during the process of building, so we started building, I don't even remember when, March or April, right Elias? Was that about when?
Yeah, I think March.
Where's
yeah.
March? Yeah, I think it was exactly a year later is actually when we broke ground from Dad having passed. And just that process was, we literally hit all 4 seasons. We had ice, we had frozen holes, we had mud and rain that was, these holes are, if you were to be from ground here, about this tall, and that is how much water was in it, about this big around, that we were constantly sucking out water. Boots were filled with water, filled with mud. Our houses looked like a mud mess. And then we went to wonderful sunny days, to fall-like weather, to here we are today on the first day of summer, and it's 100 degrees. So we have hit every single sense of the 4 seasons, which actually is one of the things that Dad loved, is all the seasons too. So it kind of makes sense putting it all together. There's just a couple people, a lot of people that I just want to thank before we kind of jump into things. BNA and Bong, this project was approximately $43,000, give or take. Where's Nancy? She would know the exact number. Yeah, about $43,000. Thanks to the BNA and Ken and Pat Happ. That's the reason we're here, is they both put in a hefty amount of money to make it possible and split it right down the middle. Thanks to all the people that, unfortunately with Dad passing, there's donations at the funeral, so we had over $7,000 in donations that went towards this project. So because of all that, that's why we're here. But not only did BNA and Bong support us financially, various individuals from the BNA came and put hands on, of unwrapping equipment to being here to get the equipment, and then just general helping out. 2 members of the BNA, it would not have been possible without them. Leaf, day one to day end, every day, every moment, it doesn't matter what was going on, that man was out here. If it was freezing cold, he was in every layer he possibly could. If it was hot, he was going and getting us water to be able to wash things down. It didn't matter. Leaf was here on days where we left here at 9 o'clock at night, and I said, oh no, we never put the fence back up. Can you please go put the fence back up, because we don't want anyone in here. The other individual, I know she doesn't want to be recognized, but is Rhonda. Rhonda's someone who, she also stays here at the campground, and every step of the way she was an advocate for anything that was happening with this project, had her opinions and ideas to build the project and make it happen. When it came to mulching, when it came to just the logistics, same thing. If I couldn't get all the leaf, it was, hey Rhonda, help us out. She was here for everything as well, making it happen. Another individual that's kind of separated from the BNA, but Leaf's grandson, Caleb, he came out and did helping with a variety of things. If it was manual labor, to carrying things, to placing things, to giving us a knife because we need to cut something because none of us had a knife. Caleb was there to help us out with that. I already did thank Gina from Play Design Escapes. She was our consultant, and she also, his name is Filbert. Filbert the Frog was donated by Play Design Escapes with Gina. She lost her father 2 months before we lost our father, and she felt that she needed to give something as well as an inspiration to the project, so she donated the frog as a thank you for us going with her. Don from National Installation, truthfully there's no words to describe that man. He not only helped along the entire process, but helped even after his portion was complete, just out of the kindness of his heart. He had to leave for his son one day, and he was calling me while he was on his way to the hospital, trying to help us still keep going with things. So, like, huge thank you to him for no matter what was going on in his life, this was just as important. Our Uncle Mike, every day that we were building, he was here. It didn't matter the weather, it didn't matter what was going on. Muck boots, mud to the top, whatever needed to be done, Mike was there too. The only thing that Mike always brought with was some sass to go along with it, so there always was some kind of comment that had to come out just to be sassy. Ben and Heather Daniels, close family friends, definite support and encouragement throughout. Ben came a multitude of times. One time fell in a concrete hole, like up to here with concrete, but hey, he was good and got back out, washed it off, kept going. James Craig was a Boy Scout that worked with Matt in Boy Scouts and Dad was his leader. He came out and did a lot of the heavy lifting one day. Brighton Bombers 4-H club. Joelle is a, what are you considered, a co-leader?
Yes.
A co-leader to the Brighton Bombers 4-H club. And the night that we decided to mulch, we had a slew of 4-H families come out. They made us go from what we thought would be 4 hours of mulching to done in an hour and a half because of them. They were all here to help dump it all out and get it going. Oh, Mr. Rylson, kind of like a second dad to me. Somebody that, no matter what you need, no matter what's going on, he's there for you. He came multitude of times too. Didn't matter if your boots were falling off in the mud, you still figured out how to keep going and keep helping, and no matter what it took, you were there. Cooper, little man Cooper, helping every step of the way, prepping the swing area, was scooping out the areas of the swing so that you could swing and adapting the swings, mulching, taking pictures. He was our other cameraman besides my mom. Austin, helping every step of the way too. You were the first one to test out all of our slides, and you were the one that helped carry all the materials everywhere. Aubrey, not only helping out with the playground, but you were mommy and grandma's right-hand women to help bring food to us all the time. And then Elena, she was our first tester of the ship's wheel before we even could lay mulch down. She tested out Filbert the Frog as if it was a horse and she was riding on a horse. And then helping with mulching too. They all grabbed breaks and helped make it happen. Joelle, honestly, if it wasn't for you guys helping every part of the project, jumping in with the build, bringing food. We told you to run, go get something. You were our woman to go run and get whatever needed. Josh, not only helping the countless hours and days, but being the main operator of all of our equipment so that we could make it easier on our backs and our bodies. And then, because he lives with me, dealing with all the countless hours of me figuring out things, bouncing questions off of him, telling him I gotta leave to go to a meeting, or I gotta go meet this person and he's home alone. So thank you for being there for all that. Matt.
What did I say?
I don't have words. Just being there for everything, helping with the manual labor, brainstorming, providing if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have had all the equipment that made it possible. We would have been all probably not standing today because of all the labor that was involved in it. And just, I don't know, being my brother. Mom, countless meetings, all the behind the scenes planning and developing. The meals, you'd cook us meals or pick us up meals, whatever it took while we were out here. You brought us food all the time. And then the money that you put into it to make it possible to be a memory of Dad that we can always come back to and have something that we can sit and look at to just be with Dad. And then just being a sounding board through all the ups and the downs and the unknown of what was going to happen. And then the last person we have to thank is Dad. I guess I really wish I didn't have to say this, but it wouldn't have been possible without him. Your final wish to give back forever through a playground is the reason we're all standing here today. This project, I know for a fact, taught Matt, Mom, Josh, Joelle, and I so many things of lessons learned to how to build a playground to what it looks like. New experiences. I even said when we were building it, I hate kids' toys because I hate putting all the pieces together. And this is like a giant little kid's toy that you have to put every single screw and piece together to make it happen. And then just, we met so many amazing people through this project. And just being able to create new memories that will last a lifetime, that was one of Dad's biggest things, is it didn't matter what it cost, it didn't matter what we did, we could do nothing, and it was the memory behind it is what mattered. Dad was a man of few words, but if he was standing here today with Matt and I in front of you all, he'd be pacing and shaking constantly because he hated public speaking, but he'd want you all to know just how proud he is of every single one of you here, just how happy he is for the community coming together for such a great reason, and he'd be so excited to be able to play with every single kid that's out here on the playground, and would want to keep adding more for families to enjoy nature, so he wouldn't be able to thank all of you enough for being here today in honor of him. So just thank you for your time, thank you for everything. Matt wanted to say a few things too as just a general thank you. And then, oh yeah, sorry, Gleason, I forgot about that. Gleason Concrete, Gleason Ready Mix, they donated half of our concrete for this project. So over 5 yards, right? Over 5 yards of concrete was donated just out of the kindness of their heart for wanting to be a part of the project. So thank you very much. I'll hand it over to Matt.
She said probably a lot of what I would have said as far as people that helped. You know, when you get in the meetings, the first original meeting, when I came there and I said, you know, I'm here until the end, I meant it there, but maybe when we started pouring the concrete, I was like, what did I get myself into? This project, you know, every step of the way, I wish my dad was there, because he was the finisher of me. I'll start anything, but he always helped me finish it. And so I guess maybe it taught me that I can actually finish something a little bit bigger or whatever. I don't know. But I think beyond that, with Leaf being there all the time, kind of just like, and Mr. Rowson, like the whole time, just like, we can get through this, you know, like let's problem solve, let's whatever. This thing, I mean, it looks great now, but the whole process, if any of you have seen like how we actually did the concrete and everything, it was a pain in the ass. I mean, it was difficult to every level because of the level of ground here. The day we dug the holes, literally filled with water the next day, so we're trying to get water out. I mean, freezing, thawing, like it was, like honestly, every obstacle you could possibly imagine. And you could ask Don if Don's here yet, but Don would tell you the same thing. This, like the next day after it should have been fine, it settled, so we were constantly moving. I mean, it was challenge upon challenge. Then once we got it all up, it rained for so long that we never could get here to actually even kind of finish it. And so it just, the whole project was interesting, but I guess if I said it was fun, I mean, it was fun. It was definitely a challenge, but it tested, I think, all of our abilities on level of equipment, level of, you know, just ideas along the whole way. But it wouldn't have happened without my sister leading the pack and making through all that. So I think it was a fun family experience, and the end product I think is awesome, and I just appreciate, you know, I can't say individually, but I appreciate everyone as a whole, because like without even just the littlest things along the way could have made our life even more frustrating or more challenging, and now you see what we created. So Dad would be proud that we created it.
Very good.